Viewers, welcome to the Personal Injury Law Show. This is a show that talks about everything to do with compensation in Victoria. My name's Tony Carbone. I'm a personal injury lawyer of over 25 years experience. With me tonight I've got Nuncio Terteia, an insurance partner in a law firm.
Tony, Alice, viewers, welcome.
And Alice O'Kane, a very senior lawyer in a law firm.
Tony, Nuncio, viewers.
Tonight, viewers, we're going to be talking about the interesting topic of intentional torts. That is, people that are getting injured or assaulted by people in pubs, clubs, and also walking home from work. Before that, we're going to go to a couple of stories in the paper. The first one is about sex claims made against child protection worker. Can you give us the facts of this, Alice?
Yes, Tony, this is an article which deals with a lady working for the Department of Human Services, and she had a number of children under her care, one of whom has come forward with accusations of sexual assault and also accusations that this lady was grooming this young girl for a sexual relationship from quite early on in the piece. So it's a very sad story. And
Nuncio, this young lady, she's probably got a potential claim today, hasn't she?
Oh, look, arguably she does, Tony. But look, the concern thing about this article is that complaints were made to, I think, the Wesley Mission, I think it was.
No, it's a Wesley Mission now, but not at the time.
Yeah, at the time, and then sort of nothing was done about it. And then I think there was a police investigation, and yet still the DHS or department wasn't notified. It's only when it's got some more, I suppose, momentum that the department's been notified. So I'm just worried about, I suppose, the lack of, I suppose, investigation into it.
Well, just on that note there, they can still prosecute because it's an indictable offence if they can prove the allegations from the criminal perspective, but civilly, the balance of probabilities is a test.
Yep.
She may have a claim for compensation.
Which she does, and I said I think the investigation will be doing a lot of the work for her, and if it comes up trumps, then I think there's a civil case there waiting.
It's a sad case, but either way, isn't it?
That's right. It is a sad case either way, Tony, and it does appear to be one of those things that there's a serious lack of communication between the DHS and what is now the Wesley Mission. But also, Nunzio, the plaintiff would have to be concerned about time limitations. She'd have to be able to show that any damage she's suffering from has arisen either within 3 years of her turning 18 or within the last 3 years if it's happened late.
Or a date when she knew she potentially had an action against
right.
There's potential for extensions, and it's been done in cases similar to this in the past.
That's right.
Let's get on to this article about bid to cut retrials. Keep it simple for the jury. Our most senior judge in the Supreme Court is worried about the complexity of addresses given to juries by the judges sitting on the cases. What's your take?
Look, I tend to agree. Look, we recently had a case in which the jury was called charge, but basically directions were given to a jury over the course of day and a half, 2 days, and look, I don't blame the jurors for being confused about the law and how they should adjudicate. And it's a difficult proposition being a juror, and I think anything that we can do to make it simpler is beneficial for everybody.
Great idea.
Well, the problem is, Alice, that the legislation says that the judge has got to summarise the case almost verbatim what the witnesses have said.
That's right, Tony. And look, it is a troubling thing. There's a real tension between, as a judge, getting all the facts right and getting the law simple and right so the jury know what it is they're dealing with, and as a juror, understanding and being able to sit through a charge that can last up to 2 days, which is a long time to be loaded up with information, if you like.
I guess in recent times the advent of transcripts has made it easier for appeals.
It's difficult for lawyers at times to understand the law because it's so complex, and there's so much to it. And just for an innocent juror who's had no exposure and may not be as educated as a lawyer, it's a very difficult job.
I think as much as we try and simplify, bottom line, the law's not simple. There's going to be things that are contentious all the time. The parties that are in dispute are going to be concerned about the way things are put to the jury. So really, the door's always going to be open for someone to complain. There's serious concerns about workers' funds under superannuation being the proverbial up against the wall.
Look, it's a sign of the times that with the GFC and the big financial crisis, people's super funds, instead of going up, are going down. It's a scary proposition, especially if you're getting towards that age back of retirement age and you're looking at your funds and it's just dwindling. It'd be very scary.
Alice, looking at these returns on these funds, the best performed are earning about 6-point-something% interest.
That's right.
Over the last 10 years.
That's right.
And the worst performed is probably earning zero growth.
That's right.
What's the advice to viewers?
Look, I think, Tony, no one is free from the GFC, as Nunzio says, and we're all going to be hit in one way or another. And it is concerning as a super fund, you know, the whole reason we have super, the whole reason it's mandatory is so that we can get looked after further on down the track. But to the viewers, the best advice is to consult a lawyer if you have concerns about your super fund. There are a lot of different entitlements out there, and there's also, it's a good idea to have a look at who you're with and, you know, whether or not they're paying commissions and things like that. There are lots of things to it and how they're investing as well. So, but, you know, there are lawyers out there who can help you with those sort of things.
Well, what's tragic for me is that there's one particular person who says he's been salary sacrificing, and he says that over the last few years, his fund has actually been static. Yeah. He hasn't increased his returns. That is tragic, isn't it?
Like public liability policies, people probably don't look into their superannuation policies with as much detail as they should. It's an important decision in any, I suppose, working environment. You need to have a look at what that policy is providing to you, not only for the super itself, but even your insurance component like TPD, death benefits, income protection. There's a lot of benefits that attach to a policy, and if you don't know about those, you're doing yourself a disservice.
The key to it is they've got to look at their policy, look at whether their funds are growing, and then if they're unhappy with it, make some inquiries with a lawyer, financial advisor, your accountant, things like that.
And the one thing that they should know is that, you know, just because an employer prefers one super fund doesn't mean you have to go with that super fund. You can choose a super fund that you like. So, you know, don't just agree to for the sake of it.
The story about the church admitting to 620 child sex cases involving priest abuse failures.
Look, it's an ongoing issue. There've been, it's been a lot in the media and also in the Houses of Parliament lately about this issue. And I think the Catholic Church has recently said that they feel they were a little bit slow about getting onto some of these cases. It's, you know, a very sad background given the facts of each case. But this is one of those situations where it will depend upon the circumstances, but some of these people are going to have claims depending upon what's happened and how they're going now. What
concerns me with this one is that there's repeat offenders and they did nothing the first time, and they thought, you know, they would be rehabilitated and would do it again. That's concerning.
Anyway, viewers, we've got to go to a break, so stay tuned. We'll be back shortly after the break with the topic of discussion tonight.